Welcome to the Win, Make, Give podcast. Chad Hyams here. Bob Stewart over there. Bob, how you doing today?
Well, we just had a conversation that you're like moving and you have a date, and I'm conflicted. Like, I don't know how to feel. You're leaving the country. Bob. Wow, but
it's not like you're going to Florida to visit.
But I could. Like, I'm probably not going to. What was the name of this city?
Really, you're not going to Spain?
I don't know.
You're more likely to come to Florida than Spain? I do
have a passport. I mean, I'm trying to get to Disney World here pretty soon. You're not that close there, but
I'm 2.5 hours. I'm not that far.
Some days I'm like, I cannot wait till Chad Hyams leaves the country. And other days I'm like, I don't really want him to leave. So
yes, we do. We're working towards it. More details to come to our loving audience as it gets closer and closer and becomes realer and realer that we do an episode on how you too can join Chad.
We have a guest today, and she's got a really cool looking mic, but she was having some problems with it. And I'm a little bit embarrassed to admit that as she was struggling with it, I was secretly like, it's not me this time. Like, normally I'm the guy that has the mic problems. Like, nobody knows this because we don't really talk about this, but like every day that I show up on this thing, it like all my devices are all messed up. And
that's why you're way too loud right now, and your sound graphs like off my charts. And Dave,
I was reveling in Lee's microphone challenge.
So Dave, we apologize. Hope you're still with us. We didn't just blow out an eardrum. We'll see how Lee does as well. Bob, I'm a little nervous. You were a little excited with that. I'm a little nervous with today's episode. Usually our guests come on and they have very little expectation, right? They just think, oh, these are just two dumb guys. They're gonna I'm just doing I'm on the podcast circuit or whatever it is to bring some value. Lee actually said, I listened to the last few episodes. So now I feel we got to like live up to something.
We found like our fourth listener now. We've identified her. This is amazing. Your mom.
My mom.
Yeah.
Lee.
Okay.
And then we've had a few audience members message us recently about episodes. So we know there's at least 5 to 7 of you out there listening. We will keep bringing value because of it. So that being said, we've teased that she's there. Let's welcome Lee to the Win, Make, Give podcast. Lee, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, guys, for having me with my all my problems with my mics, apparently.
Well, that's okay. We don't record video, so no one sees that Lee is hunched over, like hugging her microphone to make sure she's close enough for the pickup on the sound there. Yet, Lee, that's all we've told them about you. As you then know from listening to the episodes, if they were ones with guests, we don't read your lovely bio that was sent over. That's on you. So introduce yourself to the Win, Make, Give Up.
I'm Lee Caraher. Among other things, I'm the CEO of a public relations and strat comms firm called Double Forte. It's 24 years old. I was an accidental entrepreneur like probably a lot of your listeners. I did it because I had to, and now I'm unemployable because I can say no. I've been saying no for 24 years, and I like it. I'm also mom, and I'm on a couple of boards, always on a couple of boards, try to limit that to 2, and sort of highly aligned, trying to always work on aligning my business with my life so that it's easier.
Okay.
That's me in a nutshell. Also an author. I speak a lot. I do a lot of workshops on how to break through the bullshit in our businesses. And say what you want to say and mean what you say. And that makes it all easier. That's what I do.
Question 1 to you, Bob Stewart.
I love the idea of like breaking through the bullshit of setting aside the jargon of our, like, can you talk for a little bit about why that's important?
Oh my God. Jargon is like, it's just so terrible. It's so terrible. So the thing about jargon, I think that in today's businesses, you guys know this, right? We all, everyone comes from a different place, and we all have our own languages. And the first thing about business is to create your own language, and so that everyone understands what every word means is the same. So if I say blue, I mean blue. I don't mean teal. And each group needs to have its own language. But if you add, and that's different from, you go from company to company to company, team to team to team, and things are a little bit different. Jargon, and you end up having jargon within a team, right? It's like the inside baseball stuff. But the problem with jargon, and that could be a jargon, or that could just be language. The there, particularly in industries, there's a lot of, there's a lot of jargon. Like, well, inside baseball is one, right? You got to know what the hell
we're
that
in
means.
real estate, Lee. We're in real estate, so there is a ton
Right.
of it. The
That's
MLS, for
part of it,
example, is a
right?
yeah.
Oh my God. But you have, but what if the person the most important person in the room doesn't know what those things mean? And you
Yes.
just assume that they know, and you're talking, and they're like, what the hell is happening? And it turns a lot of people off. Also, it undervalues the relationship. So the thing around jargon is we think that it's a shortcut, and it actually undermines us more than it helps us.
Do we need like if you were working with a firm, do we need to sit down and like list out the words we use that are jargon and decide that we're all what do we do? Can we use the terms if we all come to a common understanding of
Yeah.
what they mean? Like, what's the process to
Right.
try to remove the jargon or get it to where we're all speaking a similar language?
So we do that a lot with our clients. Particularly when we start a new client, it's, tell us who you are. And we ask everybody we can. So we ask a minimum of 10 people. And usually we get 10 very different answers. And that's how you know you have a problem, number one. And that you don't have a standard language because you haven't been disciplined about it. So the first thing is to agree on like how to describe yourself. And in that process of describing yourself one way, so that 10 people answer that who are you question the same way, that is deciding what your lexicon is, right? Because if you have 10 people on your team, I'm just using the number 10 because it's easy. 10 people on your team, they're out there in the world, they're representing you, they're doing business, they're doing the deals, but they're using different language. No one can pick up for them. They're 10 individuals. They're not 10 team members. Teams should make things bigger. But if you have different language for 10 different people, you're actually 10 different entities that are not driving that cohesion and that driving the value of the company. So the language really is important to drive through, get rid of that jargon as much as you can so that you all mean the same thing. Now, if you all mean the same thing on the language, awesome. But you need to invite whoever needs to understand your language into that. So when I say inside baseball, guys, here's what I mean is that it's or if I say ABC, here's what that means to people who are, as soon as you add a new person who doesn't have that lexicon with you, you need to take the moment and be respectful to the person who doesn't have you and say, Chad, this is what I mean when I say ABC, just so you know. Right.
As you do you work with companies to like refine their messaging and their language internally and externally? Okay, so then
If you don't do it internally, you shouldn't do it externally.
yeah, so that like I know early on in my career, I did a bunch of like kind of advertising, like pushes towards consumers. And I quickly became aware of like, wow, in the real estate industry, we use a lot of jargon like aimed at consumers, right? Like I would see ads, for example, that were like, search the entire MLS. And I'm like, I don't think most people know what MLS means, right?
Unless you're looking for a house.
Well, yeah, but even if I was looking for a house,
why would I go there?
Possible I might not know what that means. So, like, how common is it that you see that like industry jargon being served up at consumers?
So, I mean, all the time. I mean, real estate is a good one to talk about because there's so many things. MLS and then the 6%, all the things. And most people don't buy houses every day.
Yeah, it's like every 13 years. Yeah,
right. So they wouldn't know all the shortcuts that you guys would use internally for your business. And by doing that, you are so. What a good and it happens all the time. Every industry has its. I came out of the video game business. I mean, for 15 years, I was in the video game business, and then we're talking about, polygon counts. Well, who cares about a polygon count unless you're in the business, right? So the asking someone who's not in your business to be involved in how you reach a consumer most consumers are not educated on the business that you're in. They don't read what you read. They don't care about what you care about. They care about the thing they're going to get from you. They don't care about all the pieces that goes into it. So
yes, I want a car. I don't need to know all the
I don't
stuff
need to
about what's
know.
inside my car.
I want, for me, I want a cup holder and I want a bigger sun visor. That's what I want. I
Right.
can't get enough of it. I mean, that's what I care about. I don't care about anything else that drives my husband crazy. And I won't go buy a car now because I mean they use so much jargon. I mean that's a good example. I mean, people don't that's why there's that whole industry is being disrupted because how slimy it is and how they use the language to confuse people. And that's probably the best. Actually, that's a really good example, Chad, of how when you don't use language that invites people, you are ripe for having someone else go somewhere else, finding another solution because it's not inviting people into the conversation. But it happens all the time. Bob, it happens all the time.
Of course.
And if you don't have the internal people understanding what the external people care about, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So I want to ask an actual, so what's the next step sort of thing?
Yeah.
Internal jargon, okay, right? Some of the jargon's going to stay, like MLS in the real estate world is going to stay. And we just have to teach the new people into it to understand that jargon. Like, here's what that word means.
Lexicon.
And then if we have jargon like ABC, like you had said, okay, now we have to be able to explain what that means so that they can feel like they're part of our conversation.
Yes.
We can't teach everybody else.
No.
How do we then, once our group speaks a language, how do we then figure out how to word it for the consumer? Do we have to do, like test panels where we bring in consumers and see what words work with them? Do we ask questions? Do we just make assumptions, right? How do we then take our language and bring it to the world so that they understand what we're saying, or we learn to speak their language for our message?
Yeah. So that's really talking about a sales process. Like, what problem are you solving? You're not solving a problem through jargon. The jargon is the stuff, right, that you guys do to make whatever it is that you sell. And it doesn't have to be real estate. It could be this cup or whatever the hell. I just raised a cup. So one, focus on what problem are you solving? And then use that language for the people you are trying to solve the problem for. Not the inside, not all the ins and outs of, sign this term sheet, sign that MLS. This is the number for MLS. That's going down 5%. This one, whatever those things are, right? But you're not solving a problem for me on MLS. What's the problem you're solving? I want a house. I want a house for my new family. I want whatever the thing is, right? So talk in the language of the problem you're helping solve for the people who would employ you to solve the problem for you.
Chad, it makes me, so we used to, like at one point in my career, we had the company that kind of helped real estate professionals create content focused on consumers, essentially through blogging and video and different things. And Chad, we always used to talk like a 1031 exchange is a great example. If I just knew I was going to sell my house and I didn't want to pay taxes, I wouldn't go online looking for a 1031 exchange because I don't know what the hell that is. Right. And so like we would talk with people about like positioning the answer. Like if I'm going to write the piece of content is about how do I avoid taxes when I sell my investment property? Exactly. Like that's the piece of content. It's not everything you need to know about a 1031 exchange because I didn't even know I was looking for that when I set out to look for it. I set out to look for how to avoid paying taxes when I sell my rental.
And I think the thing about, particularly now with AI and how AI is serving things up in terms of answers on the web, for search, we used to talk about SEO and everything, AIO and GEO. If you answer the questions people are actually answering, if you answer the questions people actually are asking, then you get rid of all the jargon. And there's a couple of resources on this that are really good. And I'll just use one of them for now because one is Just the Answers, justtheanswer.com, I think it is. And you just put the topic into Just the Answer. I think that's what it's called. and it'll generate for you the questions that are being asked on different search platforms.
I
And
love that.
when you don't know what to blog about, go there, do
go there,
that. It'll
and
give
it'll
you the
tell you
headline.
exactly. It'll give you percentages, and it'll show you all the thing, and you can drill down. There's a lot of ways. I mean, if you're doing blogging or podcasting, I really recommend that tab, and I'll make sure that's the right
Bob's
URL.
Googling it as you talk.
Is it justtheanswer.com? I think I've been on vacation, guys, for 4 weeks, so it's been a little nuts. But
wait, where do you vacation for 4 weeks? My wife and I were just having a conversation the other day. Like, I think at like a week, I'm ready to go home. Like, we did a 10-day, I don't know, Chad, 2 years ago or something. And on day 8, I'm like, I am ready to be home. Like, where do you go on vacation for a month?
We were in England and Scotland. And we did a lot
of
more
like she was on 2 vacations, Bob. They just coincided to to
Okay.
Well, they're part of the United Kingdom, so it's not, although we did go to the Shetland Islands in the middle of the North Sea, so there was a 14-hour ferry ride involved. Anywho, if you talk in the language that if you answer questions that are actually being asked by your consumer, and the internet is a wonderful thing, it'll tell you, it'll surface it up. Even if you just go to Google and you start your question, like, I want to buy a new house, or what's the best way to avoid debt? It'll give you the first 5 or 6 questions that people are actually asking.
Right.
Answer that question. You're never going to say whatever that was, 1032, blah, 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 blah.
See, you've already forgotten the jargon. Perfect. Okay. So, folks, speak. The people who need to hear this episode, it's not doctors. Or it is doctors. It's not real estate agents. It's not even car salespeople, because we'll just find another way to buy cars. Yet it's doctors, because wow, when they talk medical jargon, they lose their patience. We have no idea what's going on. And all they do is they put us in a state of fear and make themselves seem like really, really smart. But at the same time, we just feel like I don't want to go to that doctor because I don't connect with them. The doctors you connect with are the ones that are not using jargon. Folks, use jargon around the office when you and your team know the jargon you use. At Place, there is certain jargon. There are terms that are being used there that aren't being used at each brokerage. They have terms that are being used. Okay, when it comes to the general public, stop saying FSBO, CMA, MLS, 1031 exchange. Just some examples in the real estate world, because I just threw out 4 things and Lee went, I don't know what any of that meant, right? That's a great example. If they don't know what it meant, it shouldn't be part of your language. And I would say speaking the right language is going to be it's got to be one of the top 2 or 3 ways to strengthen a relationship. You go to another country and you don't speak their language, you're not going to end up with a relationship. And that's what you're doing. You're speaking a foreign language to the person who wants to buy your product. Is that agreed, Lee?
Totally agree. And I also think if you speak not as opposed to like, you're going to Spain, you're going to speak Spanish.
Yep.
But that's different than it's disrespectful to speak, because it feels confusing and it makes people feel stupid. Number 2, it's trust killing. No, you're never going to build trust by using language that doesn't explain what the hell you're doing. Ever.
There you go.
And if people are buying a house every 13 years, the biggest purchase they're ever going to make in their lives, you want to be trustworthy. And the thing about trust for this language and language is so much part of the trust, and then fulfilling whatever, pulling it all the way through and making it a really good experience in buying that house, is the trust is, I knew what the hell he said. I'm gonna have you talk to Chad because you want to sell your house? Go talk to Bob and Chad, because they made it so easy for me. I didn't feel stupid. They told me what was going on every single time. They didn't use any jargon, all the things. That's just going to build your brand, because it's from every 13 years, you can't count on the same people coming back to you.
And you just segued me to exactly where I wanted to go. Because Lee is the author of The Boomerang Principle, Inspire Lifetime Loyalty from Your Employees. I want to take loyalty is my number one value, my number one trait, the number one thing I look for. And if I'm speaking the same language as you, okay, we've built trust. Now the question is, can you turn that trust into loyalty. And I don't care whether we talk employees, whether we talk clientele, whether we talk our family. Let's talk about this inspiring lifetime loyalty message that you capture in your book. Can you talk about that a little bit for us?
I think that loyalty is huge for me too, right? So I think a few things. When you
Give her a second, she'll be
comes
back.
through the lens of when I wrote this book, it came through the lens of in intergenerational workplaces where the boomers and the Xers were like, "Oh my God, these people are not loyal." I'm like, first of all, when you hire someone, this is not a loyal act. You are paying them; they are coming to work. That is not loyalty. Loyalty is doing something for somebody that you do not have to do something for. It's loyalty. You actually see loyalty after someone's left and they're doing things for you when they do not have to, right? That's actually loyalty. When you are paying someone to do a job and they do the job, that's just doing the job. That's not being loyal. That's doing a good job, right? And you can reward that over time. The thing about the most, I think, so number one, that's my point of view on it. Number two, on working, when you hire someone, you know they're going to leave. So why are we surprised when they want to go do something else? We should not be surprised. And particularly for the younger generations that we're hiring today, they expect to have 6, 7, 9 careers. So how do we keep them with that? Because we all want to keep good employees as long as we can because churn is expensive, right? It's super expensive. So how do you keep them close? How do you keep them with you as long as you possibly can until they will eventually leave you? I have a very small company. We only have 40 people. We can't do everything for everybody. But so 40 people, my company is 24 years old. We've had over 100 and I guess 110 people in the company. Oh, maybe more than that. 150 people in the company. We've had 17 people return twice.
Wow.
We've had 22 people return once because we couldn't keep them. They weren't interested in what we were doing, or they wanted to do something else, or one wanted to be a nurse. Well, we're not a hospital. I can't. Okay. Well, here's how I got. Here's how you want to be. You've been such a great employee. You've been so great. We love you. We have a high integrity. You're doing a great job. You want to be a nurse now? How can I support you? Well, Lee, I have to go back to school to get some credits before I can do that. I'm like, okay. Well, do you want to work in a different way? Well, let's turn you from a manager into individual contributor because you can't manage and go to school at the same time, probably. Okay, good. Then her mother got sick. She had to go take care of her mother. She goes, "Lee, I'm changing my mind. I can't go be a nurse now because even though, ironically, I need to make more money than I will as a nurse for another 10 years. So I'm going to stay in this job. Is that okay? Yes. Can I move home to take care of my mom? Sure." And then she left. So she did that. She did doing great job, great job. We changed her back to a manager, all the things. And then she wanted to work with people close to her. So she left and she went to another agency. Absolutely. Go. This is what's best for you. She's never come back to us as an employee. She has sent us 5 clients and 4 people. Those are loyal acts. She could have given the clients to her current agency. She could have sent her people to other people she knew, but she sent them to us. Why? Because we valued her and we helped her with her life. That's the loyal act. So when you marry this thing about work, right? Are you doing a good job? Are we helping you? Are you training you? Are you doing all the things you're advancing? Are you doing what you want to do in the context of our company? Are we affording you those opportunities as much as we possibly can? That's the job, unlocking these things for our people, because then they return them in so many ways. But the loyal act is the long game. The loyal act is that brand thing of like, I'm going to be loyal to you because you treated me well. So this example you just said was, someone doesn't buy a house every day, so they come and they buy a house, they have a great experience with you, and who'd you work with? Who'd you work with? I work with Bob. He was awesome. Let me connect you with him. That's the loyal act. The loyal act, one, to the friend, because I want you to have as good experience as I have, and 2, to you as a payback, not even a payback, I don't call it a payback because I'm not expecting it, but
A referral.
it's a referral, but a referral is based on you only refer people that you can live with, right? You don't refer bad people
It's a
ever.
testimonial to who you are as a person that they're willing to refer you.
I think there's some altruistic behavior. I don't know that, like, it's not easy when you've poured into somebody that's been at your company for 3 years and maybe they even play a vital role, and then they come to you and they say, hey, I'm gonna go do something else, right? Like, I think for a long time, Chad, I did not want to wish them the best. Like, eventually I think I became mature enough to be like, okay, like, that's okay. Like, we weren't the right fit for them, or we weren't giving them enough growth opportunity or whatever. What, like, are you just naturally altruistic? You just want to help people? Or did you have to, like, learn this lesson that there was some value in leaving that door open for the person on their way out?
I think, well, part of it is, part of it's my own growth, right? And part of it is evolving through my own career in some ways. I think number one. Number two is I have a long point of view.
Okay.
And when I wrote the books, that book is, oh gosh, 2017, I think is when I published that book. Over 50% of the companies in this country had policies against rehiring people. Over 50%. Now that number is like way down. Because strategically, if you rehire somebody, so let me backtrack. One, if someone doesn't want to be there, you don't want them there. If someone's already thinking about something else, get them the hell out, or help them do it in a way that you can limit your risk. So we have someone who's going to go to school, who wants to go back to school for something totally different. She told us we've limited her job into this other place. So we've limited her risk, but she's, overproducing because until she goes to school, she just got in, she's going to go in August, blah, blah, blah. So we knew that. We helped her do that. She's going to go to school for something else. She's already sent us a person, right? You don't have to do that. But if you think about I believe life is easier, work is easier when you have a really good network of people you would work with again in a heartbeat. You can name them. When I started my company, I made I didn't want to be an entrepreneur. I think I told you that, but I had to, long story. So I made a list of all the people I would work again with no matter what. That list was 11 people, just 11 people I would work with after being in huge, huge companies and doing great things. The list of people I would never work with, 42 people long. And then the rest of the hundreds of people I had worked with in my whole career were in the middle. I would work with them under certain situations. That was 24 years ago. 80% of our clients today are connected with those 11 people.
Wow.
Right? So
wait, are any of them connected with the 40 that you would never work?
No, of course not.
No, well, that list has grown, but that list has grown with the 6 clients we had to fire. But when I think about if you take the long view on people, A, you don't want them if they don't want to be there. B, the most loyal act an employee can do is tell you they don't want to be there and leave. And not churn up your energy and your expertise and your company and your other team members, the energy it takes to move a team forward. The most loyal act is when I just don't want to do this anymore. Okay, I'm leaving. Don't make me spend energy on someone who shouldn't be here. How much energy we all spent on people like, oh God, they were such a great player. Now they're not doing it anymore. Or if they could just, why is he doing that again? Why? When you have that point of view, and I tell people the first day I hire people, and I don't hire everybody in my company, but I do meet with every new hire the first week, is I know you're going to leave me. I say that. It's like one of the first 3 sentences I say to someone. I know you're going to leave. I hope you're here for a long time. And I hope that when you are ready to go, you let us know so we can help you do whatever you want to do next.
I think that's a powerful, powerful message because you're right. I mean, Bob, you've been working very closely to Ben for many, 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 many years. I mean, at some point you're going to leave. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to go to a competitor. It might mean you're going to retire. It might mean you're just moving and
if you're listening, I'm going to the next company that we're building.
Okay, there you go. Right? That's got something to do with baseball card collecting. That's all I know. So it's those things that are going to happen. It's a great way to look at it, Lee, that everyone's going to leave at some point. Doesn't mean they might not be there for 40 years before they do it. Here's my question, because we've both seen our leader, Ben, we've both seen him do this a lot. He goes out of his way to build loyalty with people. He gives. He's very generous. He cares. He gets involved. And then he gets burned by some people because there are assholes out there, right? There just are. Or there are people who are just having a bad time and they take advantage of a situation. How do you overcome that? Or how do our leaders that are listening to this overcome when I am attempting to build loyalty with people by being there for them, by supporting them, and then I get burned because that person does just quit and they're not loyal enough to have told me, or they take advantage of a situation? How do I get over that and move on and not just be jaded with the next person?
Yeah. Well, I think that the jaded piece is where I came up with that idea, right? Is like on the, they're dead to me. Oh my God. Like they're dead to me. That person's dead to me. I'm like, why did, first of all, they don't owe you anything.
Yeah.
If you think about it this way, you're paying that person to show up. That is the job. They show up. When they don't show up, well, get rid of them, right? But the goal obviously is to hire well, keep people in their jobs, let them evolve, pay them more, get more out of them, bill them more, whatever it is, right? Whatever the kind of business it is. When I think about I give, and then someone burns me, you're probably not giving well. Are you giving the right thing? Is everyone getting the same thing? I don't know, Bill, but is he giving everybody, is he throwing money at what is he giving? And is it aligned with that person? Because sometimes, in the world and the language of appreciation, so I think we all know, highly appreciated teams outperform those that don't feel appreciated by up to 30%, which drives right to if you don't feel if your team doesn't feel appreciated, it's wasteful. Right. And you are leaving money on the table, because if you don't feel appreciated as people, it churns on our soul and we just take more time up and it's unproductive. So when people feel appreciated, they return up to 30% more down to the bottom line. But we don't all want appreciation the same way.
Yeah.
So if it's give, but I don't value that, if you send me, if you give me money, I like money. But if you think that is tying me to you and I don't value that for the give, it's not, if the equation's not there.
Right. The 5 love language conversation that we've had many times, folks.
Have you read that book? The appreciation.
We do. We have multiple episodes where the 5 love languages come up.
I didn't read that. The work appreciation, not the love language appreciation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
We discussed that one
too. Same thing. They're just different wording because it works.
Right. Don't touch people. Just don't use a touch. Yeah, but that's where the disappointment comes in, because I didn't know that person well enough to know that my 19 letters that I sent to them, or the 19 times I called them out and said, "You're doing a great job," and they hate that. I thought they were being appreciated. I thought I was giving. I thought I was, pumping them up, and they were like cringing all the time. So not every give is the same. Number one. Number two is, if you don't think if you give because you expect something back, you're not giving. And you'll always be disappointed, because not everyone's going to have the same goals as you. It's always disappointing when someone wants to leave. Always disappointing to me when someone wants to leave. But if I spend energy being disappointed on something I know is eventually true, then I'm wasting my time.
That's a great lesson. Folks, we do this on We Make Give all the time. We do. I love to do this to Bob in the middle of a lesson, right? it's bring the business lesson home, right? And I've talked about it before. It's why my father and I don't have a relationship, because he gave in a way that was not my receiving.
Right.
So the loyalty, the love in that sense of a family was not built that as I grew, there just became no relationship between us because we never had that connection. Folks, everything Lee's been talking about here, from jargon, does your family, it has a jargon. Are you teaching the kids the jargon as they get older, or they bring somebody in, get married and bring someone into the family so that person doesn't feel completely on the outside when it comes to it? And then remember that jargon might work around your kitchen table, yet it doesn't work when you go to the restaurant because they might not speak that same language out in the real world. And the same thing with creating loyalty. We don't think about it as loyalty being created at home, yet that is what it is, whether it's Bob creating it with his boys, his wife, however we're doing that, folks. Keep these lessons in mind.
Something you said there maybe just like landed. It's one of these, like, I know when you say it, like, I know it to be true, but hearing it like makes me go, wait a minute. You just said if you're like, the reason that we get, like, Chad, we feel like we've been giving to this person, and then they go and do something that we don't feel like is loyal. Like, we should not have had any expectations around the giving.
Right.
And it's the expectation that I've been giving to this person, seemingly building loyalty, at least in my own head. And then they do something that dishonors that loyalty. And then I'm like, how could they have done that to me? I've been giving this whole time. Right. But if I had no expectation of the giving, then I wouldn't sit there and go, how could they have done this to me? Because I was simply giving to give. That one landed on me a little bit.
I remember Ben helping somebody, names won't come into it, of course. He helped somebody who needed a car that was working with him. And he got the person a car. And then the person not long after that left. And there was the moment of, well, that's what you needed and what you were asking. I stepped in to help you. I think what ended up happening was after time was, okay, did I give it and now I'm over it? There wasn't that, or was I giving it for the sense of developing it? And I think that Ben matured into,
probably he gave it for the wrong reason at that time,
moment,
right?
And he was probably upset about it, and then he thought about it and moved on from it.
Yeah, I think the thing, I mean, that I've heard, I've seen that experience a lot, right? I need a little help. I need if it's money, if it's a thing, it's big, right? Helping with a car is not insignificant.
Yeah,
right. For anything, if you are. So I would divorce the idea of that guy, whoever, Joe is going to be with me forever because I gave him a car. That's no.
Right.
Just don't have that expectation. And if you're setting that expectation up, you will always be disappointed because you don't know what those person's going through. You don't know what their life is. You don't know what choices they have to make. Maybe they have to move to Spain to be with a family. I don't know. So, but if it's significant that way, helping someone out over time with something monetary that way, you can do a contract that says, I'm going to help you out right now. And if you are not willing to lose what you're giving, then do some sort of contract that says, I need this to be, if you're not here for another 2 years, then you need to pay something back. So that at least you put in right. I mean, we're in business. This is not family. This is business. Let's put it in writing so that there is an expectation, right? So if you just make sure, get everything out of your head. I think someone used the word assumption early on in this conversation. And business, you should never have any assumptions in business. You should, if you're thinking, oh, they'll do that because, oh, no. Or they're supposed to. If you use that word supposed, this happens in our family. Well, you're supposed to. That's like the worst word ever. Because one, in business, they should just know. They're supposed to do that. If you did not tell them, they don't know.
I'm raising a child, Lee, that never supposed to's. Like,
right.
You were supposed no, he's not gonna supposed to.
Right. You have to be explicit. And then we find that in our families too, right? My husband and I came out with such different backgrounds. Oh my gosh. And so my supposed to's, my New England supposed to's, and his Southern California they don't use that word. So like we had to get really explicit on, we will send a thank you note because it is nice or whatever.
They use supposedly in California. Like I was supposed to do that, but
right, exactly.
I wasn't ever going to do that.
Not gonna, right. So being explicit, and I think Chad, you said that for your family, you got to be explicit in your business for sure. If you're expecting something back, or if you're expecting someone to assume, oh, I gave him a car, so of course he's going to stay. You made the assumption. You didn't say it out loud. If you don't say it out loud, if you have to say it out loud, put it in writing because you're expecting something back, number one. And then in your family, getting rid of, like, that's how I grew up. So of course we're going to do it. It's a supposed to thing.
There you go.
Well, you have to explain it. Here's why we do this. Here's why, in our family, we put napkins on our laps. In my family, my husband hates when we wear hats at the table. I don't care. He cares. So we make that. You have to, please take your hat off the table. We say that at the beginning. If someone comes to our house and has a hat on, in our house, we take our hats off.
You can't tell that to Bob
You
Stewart.
don't know.
He loses his magic power when he takes the hat off.
I have a mother-in-law where I got to take my hat
No,
off
we're
at
not
the
at the table. But if you were at our house and you're inside at the table, I would say, hey, we take our hats off at the table. That's just an expectation thing. Because
if someone wanted to learn more about you, connect with you, how do they go about doing it?
Done?
Yes.
I mean, I could go for another hour, but Chad Z's kind of a stickler.
LeeCaraher.com is the easiest place to go.
Say that again?
LeeCaraher.com.
Folks, that's spelled Caraher, right? So it's not care like the nurse that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, LeeCaraher.com.
Check it out in the title of the show. You'll see it. Her name will be right there for you. Don't check out her website. Check out her book. We got the Boomerang Principle, Inspire Lifetime Loyalty from your employees, and learn so much more on this topic. Lee, we appreciate you taking the time and joining us here today. We wish you the best, and may all of your jargon make sense to the people around you. We've got some of it here at Win, Make, Give, and that includes reminding you at the end of every episode, do good.